All right, welcome back to Madcast About the Best Tournament number 2, where we've just been watching a lot of sweeps today. It was actually kind of interesting. All right, welcome back. Before I forget, there is a Facebook tournament. There's a raffle going to be happening tomorrow. You're going to get, possibly of winning some stuff. You just have to go on facebook.com/BOTB Invitational. You put a win. I think Colento is ahead. I think Dog was a close second. I don't exactly know the current results. And you get a chance of getting, selected and win a keyboard, mouse, and headset. Thank the Mad Cat. So, on this note, we're going to let you watch the interviews from Dog and Karlis, which are going to be the players coming up right away for the finals, and they're going to move on to the grand finals. Tomorrow, one of them is going to move on to the grand finals, and the other one will get third place, which is still a really good share. It's a $400 out of the 2,000 prize pool. That's pretty cool. So enjoy the interviews, and see you in a second.
Hey, I'm Dog. I'm a North American Hearthstone player. I'm on Complexity Gaming, and I'm competing today on Battle of the Best. My favorite Hearthstone card probably has to be Innervate, just because it's like the cheapest card, not just cost-wise, but like it's the most overpowered card, especially for Druid. So it's a tempo giver. That's why I like it. The strongest opponent for me has to be Nyria, just because he has beaten me multiple times before. So I'd have to say Nyria. Yeah. My favorite food would probably have to be either some Buffalo Wild Wings or some Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's is really good, and I'm lazy, so I order it all the time. If I was a type of animal, I I think I'd be like a god. No, a dog. That's what it is. A dog. I'd be a dog. Well, shit, that got real. Forgotten, I guess. I don't know.
Hello, my name is Karlis and I'm from Latvia. I'm playing for Team Lucky Draw. My favorite Hearthstone card is Kidnapper because, well, he kidnaps people. In my opinion, the strongest opponent in this tournament is Naria. My favorite food is pizza because pizza boys. I would be a motherfucking dragon. I'd be rather hated, I guess, because, you know, Forgotten is kind. It's awkward. Both of those are awkward.
So Lothar, would you like to be a motherfucking dragon? Oh, dude, that was so sick. That interview just killed me. It's like. Anyway, guys, so that was Dog and Carlos. So Dog made it out of the Crucible, beating his nemesis Nyria 3-0, which he actually thought, like both players thought, Nyria would actually be their toughest potential opponent. Dog ended up winning, so Druid snowballed out of control, and it went pretty well for him. Karlis' situation is pretty much very much the same, really. Like Wild Growth and Nervate, they played very well, both of them. Admittedly, they played very well the hand that they were dealt, so they ended up here. This is the finals. Tomorrow is going to be the grand finals. Where guys, the losers bracket. One person from the losers bracket is going to be able to get to the grand finals as well. But either one of the players here who wins is going to get third place. So the loser gets third place, still $400. So pretty nice compensation prize. So yeah, pretty nice I just wonder what they're gonna open up with really right now. That's what I'm wondering the most. Druid,
Well,
yeah, I don't know. Druid got banned for dog, and Karlis's warrior got banned.
oh really? Okay, didn't get that info.
Yeah, I just got it myself, so it's kind of they're gonna have to make do without Druid. At least dog will have to make do without Druid. He's got warrior, mage, and rogue left.
Warrior, Mage, and Rogue. Okay.
Yeah,
Warrior,
his
Mage, and
Miracle Rogue with Doctor Boom and Ragnaros that we saw earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of interesting. And Karlis has his Druid that we just saw with Spectral Knights, his Mage, and a
Yeah.
Warlock deck. So we didn't see much from Karlis though.
Yeah, that's true. I think if I were dog, I would actually open up with Rogue, maybe.
Yeah, maybe try to. I mean, Karlis does have information as for what Dog was running because Dog did play 2 decks in the first match, the first round, because he's the only one that actually went 3-1 instead of 3-0. So only 2 decks were revealed. So we know that he's running, the Rogue deck and the Druid deck that he is. Hence, maybe Karlis will have a bit more information if he plays Rogue, less of a surprise element. Doesn't mean it's less effective, but the surprise element is pretty important when you're playing novel decks. So
Yeah. Very
really
true.
wonder. Nips. All right, so apparently they're about to enter the game. Dog versus Karlis. I'm actually surprised at how much Druid just powered through this tournament.
Well,
Completely crazy.
when you think about Druid, this class didn't have a nerf from
Oh no. This is the most. I think.
beta. I think like the only thing that comes to mind is that in a very early beta game there was like a rev
To face, right?
rev to face, yeah. Starfall could have hit phase 2,
Yeah.
and that was the only actually changes that hit Druid. So not
Yeah.
much
In
at
Alpha,
all.
there were a lot of changes because Bite gave you 6 attack and Savagery cost 2 mana, and you dealt your attack to everything. So you
Oh,
for
yeah.
like that was in Alpha they were completely crazy, and even like in the homemade tournaments we had to ban them a while back because they were just beyond broken. But Blizzard toned them down to a point where they're acceptable. Force of Nature used to be 5 mana, like it was completely, and I think Savage Roar was 2. It was just like completely crazy. You would just die out of nowhere. So yeah, the class hasn't changed, and once people figured out a good ramp list, the most novel archetype that I've seen for Druid was something like the Spectral Knight fast deck. You remember like when Ram Druid became a little quicker, running Spectral
yeah.
Knights with Shades of Nax with Nax Ramas that came out, but it's been pretty much very standard ever since.
True. It's still
Yeah.
just a really consistent deck. When you draw the well draw of summon events.
Yeah, it usually helps you just snowball out of control and just autopilot from there.
Think we have a bug.
Yeah, he has to close a client, I think, and reopen it because there's usually a little bit of a problem with spectator mode when they both invite you the same second. It usually just glitches. So
Magic.
Welcome to
Software magic.
the technology is not there yet, dude. Don't exaggerate.
We
What is
landed
that?
on the moon, but Hassan's still not,
You want more deck slots? Are you insane? Are you crazy? What is
Well,
that?
I laughed so hard when Reynard bought the classic packs 2 days ago or 1 day ago. I was like, what?
I didn't
The
see
reaction.
that. Really?
The reaction was just hilarious.
I actually need to look at that.
He
I
has it
need
on-
to look at Reynad salt up a little bit. It's been a while since I've seen him like salt up like a legit salt. All right. So Druid versus Rogue. So apparently, Karlis said, this is a safe bet. I won last game's 3-0. Why would I change my deck? I'm just gonna keep the same thing. And he's going up against Dog's unusual Miracle Rogue that was running, Dr. Boom and the Ragnaros earlier. Like a little bit more of a late game with Alex Straza. A little bit like Teray's deck. Anti-Killbot as well in his starting hand right now. Not exactly the most exciting starting hand, but there's a sap. So that Yeti,
Well, there's still. He should be very happy that there was no wild growth in there. Oh, look, there's one.
yeah, he must be pretty happy about that. But
It's-
Karlis will get a turn 5 Ancient of Lore, however.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you have to eviscerate the Yeti here immediately. With Blood Mage
think so, too.
Talos. Yeah, seems like it makes a lot of sense. Because
It-
if he
it's
innervates
her-
Ancient of Lore...
It's just a 1-for-1, so it's very Okay.
Yeah, it's viable. Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
What to play? What to play? I think it's fairly straightforward here. You just drop the boom, and you can't sap that.
No, you can't. Oh, you're so right.
You can't actually afford sapping
Well,
Dr. Boom here.
it's still a tempo play because you bounce back, you know, a 7 mana creature, but you can't do
Ah,
it
that's
anyway.
all it is, really. It's tempo. But there's nothing in that play that really makes sense. But you have
Oh
to do
look.
it because otherwise you get like out. You get damaged way too much. And
Mhm.
Dog took 6 damage from those boss. That is not negligible at all.
But
Uh,
now for the
oh,
okay, he did draw something that he can play this in, so this is really important to draw into a
yeah.
creature, even a keeper or whatever, just whatever
Just
creature
to
that
have
can
a board
slam a board.
presence following
Yeah.
up. Because he does have the combo in hand right now, which means all he needs at the moment is to be able to have on board just enough damage that the combo will kill him. And if he
Well,
Doctor Booms next turn, then it's almost guaranteed to kill.
there's still the anti-kill bot, which
I
will
don't know
put.
if Karlis knows that yet.
I'm not sure. We'll have to
I mean,
see.
it's been pretty standard in Rogue now after GVG. Anti-kill boss has been in a lot of Rogue decks to make sure that you don't die right away. All right, so still a
Yeah,
bit
I
of an
just
awkward play. The Gadget San is gonna go all in here.
if the rogue will play a Doctor Boom, he can backstab his own bombs for instant
Oh,
projectiles.
another sap. Are you gonna sap this Doctor Boom again just so you can live
I
one
think
more turn?
so. I think
Yeah.
so. It's a very good play, I think, in this situation.
Yeah. What are the other options though? So
Oh, Dr. Boom for Rogue.
yeah, he's running it. He was running it earlier. This is the first match we saw. He ran 2-0 with this Rogue deck against who was his first
Blade
opponent? I
player. Oh,
forget.
this is
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah, but right now,
3 damage.
Innervate is
Oh,
lethal.
wow.
Innervate is lethal. Yeah, he doesn't even wait to see. He just replays Doctor Boom, and he wins next turn unless miracles happen. Yeah, he has to play anti-kill bot here. Actually, can he even afford it?
What do
Does
you
he
mean?
Blade Flurry trade? He
Um,
has to attack first and then Blade Flurry to wipe the board. Am I right? Yeah, I
yes,
think that's it.
yes, you're right.
That's probably the play. All right, so that's nicely done. But if the boom bots hit hard, all right, they didn't hit hard.
Okay, still okay. You just killed one creature for free, so
Ah,
still
but that
good.
Doctor Boom value was insane. We saw 6 bots in this game.
And look at
The,
this now.
yeah,
The
Ragnaros is probably gonna be a bit of a YOLO. Oh, whoa.
really? That's the game.
That I don't think. I don't
If
think
the
Alex
Alex
Strelza is an
Straza
option. There's no way. No.
Alex Straza means you just lose the game instantly.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do that. There we go. So
Oh,
he
he
is
was
not.
just teasing with us.
Yeah. Oh, and he
Oh
loses.
man! Oh, and there's
Whoa.
even a big game
That
hunt.
is. It
If there
doesn't.
wouldn't be a combo, then we just make a big game hunt.
66% chance to kill this and Alex Strauzer yourself back to full health, but no.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
rough. That's rough.
That's a really, really rough outcome here for Dog, who had a 66% chance to wipe one of those 2 minions. Because even if Lothar had stayed, right, he was still only taking 7 from her. So he was going to take 21 damage, and then he could have Alex Strauzer himself back. But this is not. This is not really.
Okay, so Druid won 7 games in a row.
No, more than that, 10.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry.
What's
Yeah,
this?
no,
7?
it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I stopped keeping track. That's a lot. That's a lot of Druid wins. But you see that Ragnaros play, I think, was still correct, coming from Dog.
Yeah, of
Not
course.
really another option. I mean, Alex Strelza was auto loss against the combo, whereas Ragnaros was 66% to live one turn.
Very true, very true.
Yeah, Doctor Boom and Saps here actually really carried that Druid hard.
Yeah, well,
I wonder what else could you do here if you're Dog.
you didn't have any options, to be honest.
No, because I mean, how do you deal with Boom? You've played an Eviscerate on a Yeti. There's nothing there for you to do. And you have to sap, but then you put too much damage on board, and you just have to keep wiping and taking more bursts from the boom bots.
I
Yeah,
don't think there was anything that you can do with that Dr. Boom. It's just too
no,
powerful for a sap target. If you actually would play Ancient of Lore, then maybe Dog would have turned that around because he doesn't
definitely.
really care about the card draw at that point. You
Yeah, he
just
cares
steal
about the
the
damage output.
threats, yeah, and you will put your own threats on board. But with Dr. Boom, it's just free damage, even if it gets sapped. So
Yeah, exactly. Even if it goes back to your hand,
fun.
you've still got leftover at least 2 damage left.
Yeah.
I mean 4
Well,
actually if you
yeah.
count the little boom bots exploding.
Yeah, the
So
purpose of sap is to buy tempo, but if the bots are actually capable of killing
yeah,
the opponent's creature, then you got the tempo back, and you replay the Doctor Boom, so you get in a loop. When you
yeah.
just gain
Infinite value
tempo,
loop basically.
yeah,
Until it dies, you're just gonna keep getting loot. Value. Now I wonder if Dog is actually going to queue his mage deck here into this druid
you think so?
because he still has warrior and mage. So I don't know.
Mage. Oh, okay, this
Warrior
is
can beat druid. It's not impossible,
but can also
but
lose
it
easily.
cannot. Yeah, like it's not. There's no. I wouldn't say there's any favor in any players. Actually, maybe druid is slightly favored with double combo. And the Shades of Nax, because that's the version that Karlis is running. He's not running Mech, he's running the Shades of Nax, so that gives him a little bit more, a little bit of an easier time. So we're gonna see real quickly now which deck Dog decided to pick. Either way, whether he loses or wins this match, he's still going. Yeah, he does pick Mage. Whether he wins or loses, he's still going to be 3rd place in this tournament, which is, pretty good considering the competition in here. He beat Kalento and Nyria.
Yeah.
So that was a really nice. He must be still happy about himself, regardless of the
And
outcome here.
with what results? It was really awesome.
3-1 and 3-0. That was convincing wins. And now we have Dog playing Freeze Mage, actually. It's Freeze Mage up against Ramp Druid. Alright. Karlis has a pretty dry hand, but the more of them you throw back, the more likely you are to get what you want. You're looking for those wild growths.
Yeah.
Yep. But there's one. It's Sylvanas is currently a wild growth. You just don't see it yet. Okay, no, never mind. I lied. There is no ramp in this hand. For the first time in 25.
Draw.
Yeah, but for the first time in 30,000 games, there is no ramp in the Druid's starting hand. This is the first time, I think, that we haven't seen ramp before turn 5. Like, before turn 3, sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
So this is going to maybe allow... Earlier, Nyria was really close to winning against Dog, but the only reason that it went backwards was because the Druid had 2 wild growths. So Freeze Mage can win against Druid.
And 2 Mech Walkers.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really like a stacked hand for the Druid. Whereas right now, the Freeze Mage is able to establish some kind of board and take his time, get maybe what he needs, while the Druid is taking... He has to play slowly. He did not draw into his ramp, so he's going to have to play slowly against the Freeze Mage. That is not a position you want to be in.
For sure.
Alright, do you coin out the Yeti? Is this even worth a coin? Because you might get Frostbolted, Fireball.
Your curve is really bad. You have to do something. And I think coining out the Yeti is the correct thing to do.
You could Wrath and Hero Power Face trigger the Ice Barrier right away, if there's one, or check for Ice Block. Okay, he's just gonna play the Yeti. This is vulnerable to removal, unfortunately. For him, there's Frostbolt and Fireball as a counterplay. Alright, he just actually Arcane Intellects. Does not care about removing the Yeti just yet. Wants to fetch his options to freeze the board and control maybe a bit more heavily.
Oh,
okay. Yeti top deck. That is going to help a bit.
There would be... There's no Frost Nova, right? Okay, there's Frostbolt.
Yeah, there is removal currently in Dog's hand. This is not really his biggest worry. What he has to worry about right now is how exactly he wants to approach this board wipe. Because there's a Spectral Knight coming up next turn, that is problematic. So he's going to have to start Blizzarding and Flame Striking that board.
Because that is really a bad thing. You want to Blizzard and Flame
Yeah, he'll want to do it, but there'll be like a Spectral Knight and a Yeti at that point, which is not exactly the highest of values. If there's only 2 minions, sometimes it doesn't feel that amazing. But I feel like maybe Frostbolting the Yeti and trading away the Mad Scientist could be... Although there is an argument to be made for just Ice Burying up or Ice Blocking. Because you're going to get a Blizzard Flame Strike anyway over the next few turns, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't really have to use spells to remove those. You could keep those for Archmage Antonitis later in the game if you so desire. It's really
You can
not.
also buy time with Doomsayer or just play a card of Pain for draw. Okay, he played.
That's
the
true. That's
Doomsayer.
actually a really good point. You're right. Yeah, he can't play Spectral Knight into this. That's a really good point. The Druid is now forced to surrender some of his tempo by trading into a Doomsayer. Alright, that's gonna buy him a little bit of time, but Dr. Boom will be coming out
Dr.
next
Boom,
turn.
yeah, next turn. This is very interesting because now every single AoE will also trigger the bombs.
Yep. So I think this will have to be, if Dr. Boom is played, this will have to be a, because the thing is, you want to kill Dr. Boom before you're down to 1 health. Because if you're on 1 health and he Dr. Booms, you can't wipe the board. Because you're killing yourself on your own turn with the ice block. So
He
ice block
triggered
would
the-
be bypassed.
That's interesting. Why does he trigger the secret right now?
I can't think of a reason. I guess he wants to take maybe the least damage possible because he doesn't want to play Dr. Boom. I guess he'll be playing Dr. Boom as soon as the mage is on 1 health with ice block popped. Because the mage can't flame strike after that. You cannot kill.
Maybe right.
So there might be a point there where just Karlis wants to play it slowly because he knows he might have the upper hand over the long term.
Code of Con will be probably used now because Frostbolt he wants to keep the Frostbolt, the second Frostbolt, which was very important for the Talnos Icelands, most probably. And Cone of Cold.
Yeah. I think Cone of Cold is a tiny bit better here because you're actually going to just Blizzard Flame Strike if ever options come around.
Yeah.
So definitely Cone of Cold here. Oh, Lotheb.
No, when you
Wait.
think about Lotheb is just a skip a turn of your opponent.
Skip a turn, yeah, of your opponent. That's pretty much what it does. Is he thinking about playing Dr. Boom? I feel like...
Right now, this would be very... Yeah, like, you know... I know.
I don't see much of a point to it. I think it's very weak right now.
Just play Lotheb and...
Yeah,
Well,
I think so. Because he cannot freeze your board.
Lotheb.
He can't freeze your board, so you can just get in next turn with Force of Nature. If you get a Savage or top deck, otherwise you put, somewhat heavy pressure.
Ooh, Alexstrasza can pick it up. This is really important.
Yeah, I really like that. This hand here from Dog is very strong, and Lotheb has been played already, so he's got to feel a little confident about his ability to control this board. With Ice Barrier and Ice Block already into play, there's very little pressure the Druid's been able to put on because Wild Growth and Innervates were not in his hand very early.
No,
That's exactly what we're talking about.
This is really awkward. What do you do in this turn? You don't have any options. If you use Druid of the Claw and Swipe to kill Doomsayer, then you're left with a Flame Strike perfect target. Because also the
I
Druid
think
of the
you
Claw
have to
has
swipe.
speed.
You have to swipe the Doomsayer and attack with Yeti and go face for 10, trigger Ice Barrier. Because honestly, if you don't swipe that, there's very little other time to do that. Like you have to force him to Flame Strike. Because if he actually gets a free turn to just drop Alexstrasza on your face, the game is over. You can't let him have a free turn 9. Like you have to be able to have a board so that he feels like you're contesting. You have to force him to Blizzard and Flame Strike and other stalls.
I agree.
There we go. Now Mage is on 18. Still comfortable, but not as comfortable as you'd like.
Oh, the loot corner is a really nice pickup.
Yep. That's gonna really polish his curve at the very end of the turn, give him an extra card draw.
2 Druid of the Claws. Okay, so I mean second Druid of the Claw. Spectral Knight,
Spectral Knight,
and
Druid?
Shade. No, I think Shade would be better. Or maybe you should just play Dr. Boom and Shade.
Because if you know, Dr. Boom is really going to be used when the mage is about to pop Ice Block.
Sorry. Yeah.
Alright, so the Alexstrasza comes out from Dog here. He says, you know what, I have an Ice Barrier in my hand, I have the other Ice Block. You want to pop this one, I'll have more coming. So really right now, Dog is going on the offensive, and Karlis knows that. So he must be feeling pretty awkward about this because there's no way for him to heal up. He has to absolutely go all in to wipe the board. Because he expects the fireballs and he expects the burst to be coming down next turn. And Archmage Antonidas Frost Nova actually gives Dog exactly the cards he needs to win within 3 turns.
Or just Arctiditis and Ice Barrier. There are so many options. The second Ice Block.
Yeah, he can play just second Ice Block if this one gets popped, right? Just Archmage Antonidas Ice Block and then the game is over.
Oh, Pyroblast.
Oh wow, he's not even going to be able to pop the block here.
Yeah, so this game is
Okay,
over.
no, this game is dead. So this is exactly the situation we got into much earlier, where Nyria was in the position of dog, playing Freeze Mage against Druid, but the drawback was the Druid had way too good of a start. The Druid literally got double Wild Growth, and that was pretty much unrecoverable. But if you can just have like one turn delay on that Druid pressure, then you're gonna be fine. And that's why Wild Growth is actually so instrumental in winning this matchup.
Yep. Or Innovate. One of those.
Yep.
Like, Innovate or Wild Growth means you are dealing at least 4 points of damage more.
Yeah, every single turn, so that's an earlier Ice Block pop, which puts the mage on position of being defensive earlier than he'd like, and that's
Exactly.
never something you want to do as mage. You want to be able to pace your protection whenever you feel like it.
Sure.
Alright, so Dog actually swings back in after losing to Karlis' first Druid game. So 1-1 in the series is actually the first time we've seen 1-1. I think so, we had 2-1 earlier, but 1-1 is the first one. So Karlis has Mage and Warlock left over.
Mage and Warlock. You go
Warlock
for...
is probably not it.
No, you don't want to use Handlock in this situation.
Definitely not.
And Zoo also.
Yeah,
those
neither
decks
Warlock
are bad,
archetypes.
yeah.
Really, neither of them really work. So I feel like Mage is the only option here. Trying to get a Mage battle. This is gonna come down to fatigue or some kind of wombo combo. It's all about the draws there.
Didn't Karlis use a Chugga Mage?
Yeah, I think it was using Chugga Mage. Yeah. Was that him or was that?
No. He's 6-0, so why would he use Mage?
Yeah, so... he used Druid into Druid, I think. That might have just been that. I think we haven't seen Mages, the Mage deck, sorry, from Karlis yet.
So we'll have to see just what he uses and proceed with the commentary from that point.
Yep.
If this will be a Freeze Mage mirror, this is actually one of the most skilled matchups, but also one of the most boring ones. But
I like it, but it's down to the card. Like, you have to know the opponent's deck list by heart, and count your cards and count his. First one gets Alexstrasza. Like, that's sometimes it comes down to that. It's the first guy who gets Alexstrasza on the other guy's face, pops the first block, and then it's a block, and the first one who popped it is gonna win. It's happened quite frequently in those circumstances.
Okay, so we're starting to win the game right now.
And the Mirror Mage. Jaina used Mirror Entity, it's super effective. Ooh, wait. Uh-oh, Karlis has brought a Mech Mage with spare parts and Archmage and Tinnitus here.
That's very interesting. Now, the spare parts might be a problem for the Freeze Mage. If they are stuck in his hand, this will, mean that he will get more...
He can't draw.
He can burn cards. He can burn cards. Like, you can force your opponent, when he plays an Acolyte of Pain, of drawing the maximum amount of cards, so you can make him easily overdraw.
So there was a decision here made by Karlis that might have not seemed like super awesome, but what he did is he didn't play turn 1 Clockwork Gnome, and the reason is he wants to have a turn 3 Clockwork Gnome for the Tinkertown Technician. No, he has just found his Archmage and Tinnitus already in this game. This is going to be crucial to make this matchup work. Getting the Archmage out with a few spare parts is going to be very important for him. And now already 3 spare parts in hand. Lotheb, Time Rewinder, Lotheb. This is very dangerous.
The Battle Cry effect because they are no mechs on the field, which is unfortunate.
The Blast Mage,
anyway.
It's still a good fight for, though. You do force the Mage to play very defensively at this point. Yep, I think this is a position because turn 5 Lotheb from Karlis, he can even go for, turn 6 rewind Lotheb and replay her with the Time Rewinder that he got as a spare part.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's really, he can swap the health of the Doomsayer with the swap. So he's gonna swap the Doomsayer around and then possibly play. Yeah, there's a lot of plays with spare parts against Freeze Mage. It's one of those cards that really make a huge difference. Like right now, Dog's removal is really limited. He's gonna have to use his, spells that he'd like to throw face. And he really, outside of Cone of Cold top deck here, really, it's a bit weird. He's just using Frost Nova. Wow, he has to Ice Lance minions. That's gonna buy him time until the Blizzard, hopefully for him, or a Cone of Cold. Lotheb is going to wreck Dog's day. Lotheb
this is
face,
awful.
and now
What do you
Time
do on
Rewinder on
26?
Lotheb. No, Time Rewinder on Lotheb is going to crush Dog's soul.
Yeah, this is... Time Wonder is the MVP with the over here. It's just
Right now, yeah. Is that
insane.
lethal? Wait, is that lethal? I think it is
Wait,
lethal.
oh,
There's
yeah.
lethal on board.
Yeah, wow.
No need for Time Rewinder. That was the quickest game I have ever seen in my life. Well, maybe not, but... Don't go there. Okay, sure. There was a Druid, man.
Don't go there.
Alright, so Karlis taking this one convincingly against Dog's Freeze Mage. Really, wasn't even a contest. I mean, some of those spare parts really being impactful. You know, skill tests sometimes, but if you hadn't had that one that swapped attack and health,
Yeah.
this game would have gone completely differently. But yeah,
have to
definitely.
Kill the creature with other means. I mean,
And there was
yeah,
nothing else in hand.
He would have to use the Time Wonder for the Mage, I think.
He had no mech on the board.
And, I mean, he had the Time Wonder.
Oh, just to bring it back?
Yeah, to bring back the Mage, so he would just lose one creature from that Doomsayer.
I see what you mean. Yeah, most definitely.
I'm
It's
not
just
sure
kind of
that
a-
would be a good play, but well,
No chill. Well, unless he wants to lose it, because he could keep Time Rewinder for later purposes with Lotheb, because Lotheb
Mhm.
against Freeze Mage is very paralyzing, right? You just play it, they can't do
Yeah.
anything, and then you just Time Rewind on the following turn, like Shadow Step. That's going to crush a Freeze Mage's soul. No removal, no secrets for 2 turns straight.
just
That's
lose the game.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. You're just gonna get snowballed out of the game. So, very very nice, come out here, I guess, by Karlis with a perfect start. Double clockwork, Tinkertown into Tinkertown. Very nicely done.
and in low tech.
Dog goes down, so that's 2-1 for Karlis in this series, I believe.
Yes, you're right. That's 2-1 for Karlis. So
Yeah,
this
Dog
might
is
be the
forced.
deciding match here.
The Dog is forced into Warrior, and Karlis is using a Snow Chugga Mage. So
Well, this might be either way. Depends on the draw. If the warrior gets the
course.
weapons and he didn't get, he won't be getting freezed every single turn. Then it's
Yep.
actually not so bad for the warrior. We have seen this in the final of the Kingdom Tournament when Strap was using that type of mage, and he won because he did the exact amount of damage that he needed to with top deck and fireball in a good place, but it was really tight. So warrior getting a better draw and he'll just easily win with even 1 HP. Or
Well, yeah, 1 HP,
spell.
it doesn't matter. They can
Yeah.
swing back in the game fairly frequently. So,
Exactly.
Karlis,
Oh, man.
on the coin with the Mana Worm, with the Mech Warper. He's got everything he needs. Mech Warper, coin, Cogmaster, Clockwork Gnome, and then the rest is history.
And an Oratron, okay. So you can
Do,
play...
do you play an
Mech
Oratron
Warper.
here instead? Or
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
play,
Oh.
instead of the Cogmaster? Probably, yeah.
You play the Oratron, for sure.
Yeah. At least there's a Brawl in Dog's hand. This might be his ticket to swing back in this game. His ticket to the game might be in that Brawl right here.
Shield
This
Slam
might
is
be
also-
all he wants.
Now
He's
he
gonna
can
be able to
put the-
Shield Slam.
Yeah, that's
You're
the same
right.
situation this time.
Yeah, we had the exact same situation earlier that occurred where Mech Warper had to be killed, but now he's considering not using it because he says, I might as well just get the maximum Brawl value I can.
You sure of that? The Brawl is still 3 turns away. 2 turns
It's two-
away.
2 turns away, yeah. You want to kill the Mana Worm, I think, but not the Mech Warper. Because the Mech Warper's damage output is fairly static.
Structure Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite what we want to see right now.
Alright, let's see what he gets. Maybe I think he's trying to sacrifice the Clockwork Gnome, see what kind of spare part he gets out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he's decided against that. Okay. There's a Doctor Boom in that Mage deck. The value is unreal. Oh, okay. So he doesn't lose the Clockwork Gnome, wants to capitalize on the damage to whittle down the armor that Dog has right now. Cruel Taskmaster really going to be useful.
Sure. Yeah, but now we want to develop the devs by to just get the free whirlwind effect on the ball.
Oh no,
So
most
you might-
definitely.
You might actually not use the Brawl anytime soon.
Wow! Fireball to
Very
face.
aggressive play here, but
Yeah, very
Um,
aggressive play, but
it's a
definitely
very heads up play. most probably you won't have time to play the fireball later on. You have a turn 5 play and you will be rolling your minions.
Yeah, I like the way that this is going on right now. I like the Karlis's use of the fireball. Just saying, you know what, I'll probably won't have mana later on to do this. I feel like my hand right now is saturated, so I'm just going to go all in and attack your face. And Dr. Boom might just be able to seal the... Oh, wow, the pickup here.
So turn 6 will be fireball, frostbolt.
Yeah, this will be a lot of spell pressure. And then, you know, and very close from that damage, that lethal here.
Look, this is 11 points of damage.
Just from the hand right now. For 6
okay, you have a
minutes.
Yeti, so maybe you do something else.
Do you just attack Sludge and time rewind the Drake? I mean, probably not.
No.
It's kind of cute. No, it's not worth it. Most definitely. I think you just have to kill that Sludge. Sludge has to die. And then you can just keep packing pressure. Yeah, he lost a lot of reach. I figured he might keep it. But he must be expecting Shield Maidens. And he's kind of worried about...
No Shield Maidens.
Oh, wow. No, he doesn't. Well, he doesn't know that. But if he might be afraid of that.
Now, Dr. Boom is insane drop here. There's no weapon that Goku has 6 points of attack.
Well, actually, Sylvanas Whirlwind is an amazing play. Well, is it? I don't know. It's a bit all in, I guess. I mean, I feel like you have to roll and hope that a bot stays up.
Oh man, this is really, really awkward.
Yeah,
if
because
it's Sylvanas and you play the... Never mind. We'll see what's the outcome here.
Whatever stays up, it doesn't really matter. The thing is, if it hits for 4, you're going to be in a world of hurt. The thing is, you've already seen 2 fireballs, right? So you're not too worried about getting fireball to the face. And the 1 damage here is really going to help. Okay. So Dog may... Oh, no.
Oh, man.
This is not what he wants. I think... Do you ever just drop Archmage Time Rewind it? No, you just put infinite pressure. Oh, wow. Dog was not going to be happy about that Archmage Antonitis. And he knows... Shield Maiden.
This is crucial.
This is an MVP. The MVP of this game is Shield Maiden.
But
hands
still,
down.
It's very close. Now, which spell pattern did he get? That's the change of the stats, right? That's
swap the stats. So that's not going to give him the lethal just yet, but it might help a bit later on.
Well,
but I think you just go
Chugger,
Archmage, no Chugger, swap attack and health, attack for 3, and just leave it at that. You're gonna get 2 fireballs off of the... I think you just even time rewind, because you're guaranteed lethal next turn.
Yeah, you can do this. Which one do you get? Oh, yeah.
How does the warrior live through that turn?
I don't think there's an option.
I think that's it. I think this is the end.
Yeah
there is absolutely no way here for Dog to salvage the game. He's taken too much damage. He took 1 fireball to the face very early on. No shield blocks in sight.
Okay, this is it. 3-1. We didn't have a single 3-2 in the entire day.
No, that could have been 1. I thought maybe Dog could do it, but ultimately his Freeze Mage got completely stuck. And this Mage deck taking it up against Warrior, despite the Shield Maiden play. Archmage Antonitis just sealing the game with spare parts for the fireballs. Very, very potent combination. It's been seen a little bit on ladder, but yeah, Mech Mage, kind of a good deck, eh?
For sure.
All right. Sorry, what? We got a message from production, but I have absolutely no idea what it meant. Sure. That's fine. Perfectly fine. That's great. All right. So, what do you think? I'm just curious because I've seen a lot of those mage decks with Gazlo and Archmage Antonitis.
With Gazlo, really? You saw a deck with Gazlo? Because I didn't see one.
People tried Gazlo with Archmage because they achieve a similar function. The only difference is that people realize that Archmage is just 20 times better by a long shot because it does give you kills, whereas Gazlo doesn't. It just gives you more tempo. But it's already too late in the game to capitalize on that. So a lot of those mech mages with Archmage Antonitis have been, I wouldn't say abusing, but is that the strongest interaction with spare parts?
Hello.
I think so. Oh, we got Karlis on board.
Yes,
right?
hello.
Hi,
Jacob.
Karlis.
Oh, hi, Karlis. Oh, the sound quality is astonishing.
I'm sorry, like the sound is horrible, I know.
Yeah, it's fine though.
Wait,
I can
Like,
understand.
I don't know, just give me a second, I will change.
Okay. So,
He's
Oh.
changing his microphone. All right, great.
okay. This is like a robot from the future.
Yeah.
Hello? Do you hear me?
Yes,
no,
much
it's way
better.
better.
Okay, now you hear everything what is in the room, but that's fine. In Skype? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's wait for Karlis to put on his webcam.
Oh, I need to close OBS to do that. Just give me a second.
Yeah, you're using OBS. That's gonna interfere with the webcam.
Okay, now I'm here.
All right.
Yes. Well,
What do you think about the games? How do you feel with your win here during day one?
Well, I actually won many games that I didn't expect to win because I had already planned games. Like I know what I calculate what is the most obvious thing with my opponent will open and then pick into it. So I would win the first game, then he would counter pick me, and that it would go on right like that. I didn't expect to get those 2 in a row wins at the starts. Pretty much all my picks and their picks are calculated. Like a poker pro named Jesse really helps me with that because, you know, in poker a lot of math, and he helps calculate the highest possible win rate for me to which decks I open with, knowing the win rates. And that's pretty much how I every time picked. It was just because on numbers based.
Yeah. Well, that's the way
Yeah.
to do it. It's the best
That's
way.
the
You just
proper way
calculate
to
your
do it.
odds and you just probabilities in each tournament. I think pretty much every top end player does something like that as far as picks go.
Yeah.
Best way to do that.
That's for sure. So,
Yeah.
did you plan on winning so much games with your druid? You know how it goes, right? If you have the innervate.
No. The Druid was not my win deck. My win deck was Mage.
Okay.
The thing with
Really?
Druid is it was specially built to counter certain matchups, and that's it. It wasn't my win deck. It wasn't planned as well. Anything like that. It just happened that in those matchups that I was against, starting sometimes the Druid was the best option to from the win rates further. But it wasn't at all. And now the one game I actually got the Mage play, and it was like turn 5 kill, and then against
Yeah.
Warrior turn 10,
It has
something.
It's snowball
Because
out of
that
control.
was that was my win deck. But you know how it is. You need to calculate which matchups
Yeah, sure.
and what to start with.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Well,
basic stuff.
Awesome. So I hope we'll be seeing that Mage a lot in the grand final.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Coming
So
up tomorrow, you're
congratulations
ready?
to
Thank you.
advancing to the grand final. This is really awesome. So
Yeah. Pretty
we'll
cool.
be seeing you against one of the players that lost today. So we have a full array of players. Is there any player that you're particular like? You don't
I
want
do
to,
not
to
want to face Naria. Naria has
Okay.
the same setup as me, just little bit different deck lists. So if I would face him, it would go down pretty much on coin flip, and everyone else I can kind of manage to get 55% up. So
All right. So you're confident about everyone but Nyria. Dog felt the same way, but he ended up beating him. So maybe you'll be that lucky as well.
well, it's against Naria, it's like a coin flip. It's just
Yeah.
you know, especially when I looked at decks, we have pretty much similar, except he swapped some cards around
Yeah.
differently. So it's pretty. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Very, very strong deck. Anyway, the mage deck I really like. That Archmage Antonidas really just carried that end game.
Oh yeah.
That was absolutely sick. When he drew it, I was like, oh no, this is not gonna go well for the warrior. And yeah, ultimately you won, and that was well done, sir. I think
Yes.
the draws do matter, but you played this super well. So, congratulations.
you played very consistent. Like
Mhm.
we didn't
Completely.
see any mistakes at all. I think from your
No,
part.
not a single one. I haven't seen a single one. I think everything was just done on point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, congrats, man, and we'll see you
Deserve it.
tomorrow in the grand final. So
It is really fun to play against these people, you know, because they're skilled.
Sure.
Yeah,
High-
they know what they're doing.
High level competition is always enjoyable. That's true.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks for the interview.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me, and goodbye, I guess.
Okay. So we'll talk to you tomorrow for sure. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to you tomorrow.
Have a nice one.
Okay. Bye bye, Karlis.
Bye.
All right. So, guys, this is it for the day. We're done with the finals. This was a very quick. We had like 2 hours planned ahead because we expected a little bit more, less landslide wins. We've seen a lot of 3-0s, 3-1s, so that's going to shorten the entire tournament. Finals decided. Karlis is going to move on to the grand finals tomorrow. Dog is going back to is going down. Sorry, to the losers bracket. So there's going to be a double elimination format. So the losers bracket is going to be done tomorrow first, and then one of the players in the losers bracket will move on to the grand finals as well to face Karlis. So maybe there'll be a rematch there, possibly between Dog and Karlis on D2, or maybe Twixen is going to get there. So always a possibility of those, nemesis counter picks in the late game.
Yep.
So until then,
to those matches.
I guess you take care of yourselves, guys, and thanks, Matt Katz and Elise Webb, for sponsoring the tournament. It's going to help a lot. Yeah, and until then, guys, take care of yourselves. May the fun and the luck
See you tomorrow.
be with
Bye,
you.
guys.
Have a nice one.
All that remains of a world in chaos, broken by change. We are light in the dark, calling out for something to spark. And we'll hide in the graphite, deep inside the earth, and wait for the fires to
One.